You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite podcast. It's Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel. Marcus and Jessica, how you guys doing?
Tired.
Doing well, brother, man. Doing well, tired, yes.
Yeah. How are you, Kel?
Trying to get healthy, man. I had the ick for the last few to a lot of days, and so I'm at 80%. I'm just trying to get back to at least 90 by tomorrow so I can get some shit done, because I feel like I've been pretty fucking useless. So
dang. Well, here are all the well wishes, and 90%.
Good
You're just gonna
vibes.
get to 90% by tomorrow? Hopefully.
I mean, for what I have to do for the rest of the week, is if I can get to 90, like that'll be
Then you're
enough.
good.
I'm good.
Well,
So
I hope you get to 90, because sheesh.
I hope so
Tell the
too.
kids, just drink some water, brother. Drink some water, hydrate, and get some rest.
Yeah, but before we jump into this real quick, congratulations. You guys have a 18-year-old now in the house. How old does this make you both feel?
Oh man, I'm getting grayer by the day.
Well, I mean, I'm only 32,
I'm
so
getting hella old.
just
It's
I don't
scary.
know. I guess we're growing together. We're going all together.
I'm
Carmen
becoming
and I.
my dad. I got my readers on. My hair's
my
getting
God,
gray. I
he's
got braids. And
He's like those
I walk around in a
commercials where it's
robe
like,
and-
you're becoming your dad. No, he's
For
literally
real.
becoming an
It's
old Negro
tripping.
spiritual right before my eyes. Seriously.
I got all the sayings and the
Right.
And all the
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
I was like, okay.
Scary.
Well, I wanted to talk to you guys today about two things. The first thing I wanted to touch on is I sent you guys this Instagram clip from this podcast that discussed about black men with money that don't date black women. So to get folks caught up, real quick, here it is.
Black men that make a lot of money seem to be able to find every excuse as to why they can't find a black woman that brings them peace, while simultaneously going through hell with women from other races anyway. You cannot look at me and tell me to my face that you can't find a room full of beautiful black women that make money, that will treat you well. They're all over the place.
Out earning men.
Out earning men at a alarming rate.
And we love to see it.
You're not in an organization like Nesby or something, or at a part of a college institution, a part of a fraternity or an organization of some sort that will connect you to women that make money. I am fighting for my life to keep up with my woman.
All right. What are you guys' thoughts? I really want to hear what you have to say, Jess.
We can't wait.
Okay, you guys. Okay. Okay, well, I mean, I get where he's going, right? I get it, how it can be perceived that once black men reach a certain status or monetary status or whatever, that when you maybe run in those circles, maybe you're more apt to be, encounter a bunch of white women or whatever. But I think there's some truth to that. But I also think there's some, it depends on like where you're at as well, like what part of the country you're at, because I'm sure if you're like down south and in Louisiana and stuff, those men, there are plenty of men that have a bunch of money, and I don't think there is the access. Does that make sense?
Fair.
To a bunch of white women than Washington, for example. I think it's very easy to kind of dismiss a lot of, maybe black women here once you gain a certain amount of status, because there is a plethora, a whole bunch of white people here. So that's part, I think
Real
it's
quick,
the region, geographical region. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Just real quick, though. I don't think it's just white women. Let's not say that. Let's just say non-black women. because I think this is including like
Oops.
Hispanic women, Asian women. You know, there's a lot of other races out there.
That's fair.
But
In
what-
Washington as well.
when we talk about this kind of stuff, we're for the most part referring to black and white. I mean, all issues come down to black and white. Asian, Hispanic, our core issues are black and white. It ain't got you guys ain't got nothing to do with it.
But Jess, there has been a big influx though of black men that have been pursuing Latin women. Like that's been like the thing as of late.
Where?
in the last
Where?
like 5 years.
Where?
I mean, I know
Seattle?
plenty of black men with
I think it's a
Hispanic
thing. It's a
wives.
popular culture thing,
Right.
maybe from your big pimping videos and your
Whoa! Stop fetishizing, Marcus.
and your porn and your bang bus and your different things that you could type in to
Whoa!
create a certain
Dylan.
type of create a woman, right? Okay, I
He's
want this woman
fetishizing.
that's not white, has some color, has some flavor, has long hair and all this kind of stuff. It's a thing. I want to create this woman that's
Wait.
exotic, so I'm going to pursue the Latin. That's kind of in the middle, right? Okay, no, I'm not dating a white girl. I'm dating this.
Okay, but his whole
Not that
point,
there's anything wrong
we're
with
talking
that.
about black and white. We're not, you might try and go, oh, well, we're really talking about black and white, and we're talking about black women.
Mhm.
And so we're talking about, we're black and white here. I believe
All right.
that is
Fair
issue.
enough.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think the geographical region, is it geographical region? Yeah. I think the region matters. I think because you see a lot of professional athletes that marry outside of their race. But I also do see a lot of professional athletes with black women, which makes me, oh, wait, I'm one of them. Sorry. Let me just.
I would say even
Let me
with
go
that
back.
though, you kind of got to grade on a curve. That's a smaller
What?
population of
I'm
going
just saying,
after.
like what you see in
Well, you see it because it's in
right in the media,
more.
right?
So
And again, because I know we've had conversations about dating outside your race, and I definitely do not have a problem with that. It is when we are degraded and devalued and disrespected in the process that I have a problem with. And why they want to date, the motives behind wanting to date outside of your race. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it's none of my business what your motives are. But what I have seen is, like I said, we're dogged out in the process and we're worthless and we don't have any money and we're broke and we're ghetto and we're hood and all this kind of stuff. So let's date the white girl that appears to have her shit together, right? And so that's where it's not fair because we're stereotyped, we're judged, all of these things.
just like my man in the
That
video
was
said,
long-winded.
though, no, I don't think that's long-winded, and all that is fair, and I agree with that. But what the gentleman in the video was talking about is that some guys, and I don't want to forget about the women in this one too. I don't like that part of this thing. You know what I'm saying? So the double standard, but
There is not
is always a double standard. Women date outside of their race, maybe
Women-
because it's by default. They try to blame the black man, so now we got to go outside and we got to do our thing as well, right? Or is that not the energy?
Maybe that
so
could be. But
I want to be fair and I want to talk about both sides of it. But what was I going to say? You made me forget now. That you think that the black women is coming across as ghetto and all this other foolishness. All women can be a part of that scenario and a part of that. So I'm saying when men think that
the term ghetto.
I know, but I'm just saying exactly what this dude in the video said, that you put down black women, but then you come back and you deal with something else and you get a worse situation, or you get a situation that you didn't think was going to be as bad, but you're in the same type of thing. And you're talking about ghetto, ain't got no home training and all that. That could be any woman. And that's what the dude said in the video. So.
Okay, well, first of all, ghetto, like the whole term is basically referenced in reference to black people, their dwelling, even though I think like
not
originally
all, though. That's a false narrative. Though.
Ghettos were
ghetto comes from the Holocaust.
Right. Well, it comes from there, but now it has been America has taken it and uses it against us. Right. The ghettos, your ghetto, all that kind of stuff. It might have its origins are in Germany, but it is used here as a negative connotation towards black people and black women, just like the whole welfare queen, the term that was coined in the 80s and shit. That is still attached to us, black people, when the people that use welfare the most are white people. So it's just quite interesting how we get all of these stereotypes and all of this stuff attached to us by, I don't know, I guess other white people.
Popular
so that's
culture.
what it's. So when you say, they're ghetto, what, all women are ghetto, that's not true. Ghetto is not used to describe a white woman.
No.
Now, white trash be trailer trash.
I didn't say it was used to.
Well, you're saying all women can be.
They can.
Ghetto.
I do stand on that, but all women are not perceived of that and grouped together. I agree with you. It would be more black women.
When you think of the term ghetto, you don't think of a white woman.
But my point was, if you do date a white woman, that doesn't mean you're not going to get what they call ghetto.
You can get all of that.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. So if you're running from your black women, you can't get away from
which makes it even
foolishness.
Worse.
That's what I'm getting at. It's
which
not really making sense,
even,
but that's what I'm trying to say.
And that's where my problem is. It's anything but dating a woman with brown skin.
It's society.
With, black features, black hair. It's like a thing. And it is a thing. And a lot of black men have an issue with that. And it disgusts me that, and I know black men that don't want to date black women because they don't want their kids to be dark, or they don't want their kids to have nappy hair, or they don't want this and don't want that. And I just think that is the most degrading as a black woman. And I think I've said this before.
You have.
It is
several times.
It's so disturbing to me to hear that kind of stuff as a black woman, raising black daughters with black features, with black hair, with black skin. It's like, that's where you miss me as a black man. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Oh yeah, it's self-hate. Excuse me.
Hey,
all right, let's
you
go.
want to know? You want to know something wild though? Is like there are black women that have issues with their kids being dark, and what's wild is like, I'm not going to put anyone on blast, but my mother.
Oh, go ahead.
Not my mom, but no, my mother was like, oh, such and such. Da 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 da. God, I don't even want to. How do I even say this?
Don't do it, Kale.
I know.
Don't
Kale.
do it. Don't blast them.
Go ahead.
And not today.
But
say their name.
No, pretty much. Beautiful dark skinned daughter. The mom's dark skin. Daddy's dark skin. The mom kind of has that, Stepford wife kind of attitude. Gets the kids. Gets the little girls' graduation pictures. Lightens her skin in the pictures. Takes it to a professional to get the skin lightened in the picture. And my mom was like, that little girl ain't that color. That little girl's a little dark chocolate drop. And she done went and lightened, got them pictures of that girl's skin lightened. And I'm like, Mom, but they're darker than us. And she goes, I know. And I was like, I'm like that. I was like, Mom, I'm like, that's self-hate on a level that I've just never. And then like the husband, I'm kind of like, is he like, Mom, was he like okay with it? Because he ain't say nothing. The mama did all that.
So was it more for the filter, or they was literally trying to be a couple
Well, here's
shades
the thing.
lighter in the picture.
They live in Texas, okay? And the mom took the pictures and brought it to the people that does the that touches up photos for like government people, like the Bush family and all that stuff in Texas, and had them do all kinds of shit to alter this picture and then lighten this girl's skin. This girl was maybe a half shade darker than me, and she's your color, Marcus. And I was like, what?
Oh, wow.
It was wild. And this was the mom that did this.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
I
good
just
editing
think,
too,
like-
if they could accomplish that. Not that was
Yeah, but
for a
it's
good cause,
wild is
but-
because like when my mom showed me the picture and I was like, Mom, that don't even look like her. And she's like, I know.
that's
and so,
extreme.
like,
Extreme trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a community, just as a community, is something that like we need to like address that shit, because it's not just men. Like there's moms out here doing that shit too.
Yes.
I wanted
Skin
to
bleaching,
throw you-
all that kind of stuff.
Crazy.
It is
I wanted
very
to-
common.
I
Well, not
wanted to
very
throw you
common.
guys some statistics out here. This is from blackdemographics.com. It says that 85% of married black men have a black wife,
Mhm.
8% have a white spouse, and 4% is Hispanic, and 3% is other. And then you have for black women, married black women, 93% have a black husband, 4% have a white spouse, 2% have a Hispanic spouse, and 1% have other.
What is other? Where's the Asian? Because I know
Like Asian, Indian, something that's not of
they're not.
Caucasian or Hispanic descent.
Right.
So,
Yes. Okay. So 85%.
85 and 93, right?
Right. But that
Yeah.
seems like, okay, yeah. All right. But again, I think the regions where you live matter, because maybe you can see that 85% in, Washington, D.C., or, again, Texas or something like that, or Houston or whatever. But in Washington, you don't know that there is an 85% of any of that. So it's great to know. But again, it doesn't matter who you marry, or who you love. It is about the conscious or even unconscious motivation between who you pick and why you choose that person. And because there's a reason why, right? And like you were saying earlier, Black women do that. Black women do date white men for the very same reasons that Black men do that. But Black men are very, very, very vocal about it and disrespect us in the process. And
but do you think there's a reason for that though, Jess? Like, do you think that comes out of nowhere? Is there a
it comes out of trauma.
I
But
think it's a
yeah,
man
I mean,
thing
but-
and a control thing as well, and how it's blown out of proportion. Women so much don't have the voice to speak about the Black man, I don't think, on that platform throughout time, right? It's been like a men-driven thing.
Always will be.
But do you guys think too? And I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But do you guys think though, like there has been things that have happened societal to the Black community to make Black men think this way because of things that maybe Black women have done and have said? Because, like we've talked about this before, where, when I was growing up, I wasn't ghetto enough, or I wasn't hood enough for a lot of Black girls. And I love Black women, and they didn't want to give me the time of day because I was too funny. I was too goofy, which to them was a square,
Right.
And so
But that's not a reason.
But I'm saying, no, it never made me like dislike Black women and never not like want to be with a Black girl. But like you have some dudes that if they were treated a certain way, they've taken that to heart and they're like, well, shit, like they're not interested in me.
You're affected.
So what am I? So what am I supposed
We're
to
not
do?
stroking egos and shit.
It creates
Not even
a
stroking
preference.
egos.
It creates a preference.
Like,
don't mean it's right or wrong, but if I don't know, that don't make it right either. That you kind of just dismiss a whole.
Kel, you were younger, right? And like,
but
you don't know what you know now, and
True.
so it's kind of like, of course, when we're younger, we're not all the way there. So
Still learning, but you are affected though. You're
yes,
right, but that's the thing though. Was like, let's say that happens continuously over and over and over and over and over again. You're gonna develop a type of maybe a callousness or even a type of like, you know what, like clearly, like I've tried this. They don't like me. They're telling me I act too white because I speak proper, I speak correctly, which that's a whole nother conversation because I don't even know what speaking white is. Like, what is that? So I speak white. So because I speak well, so white people are the standard now. You just played your whole fucking race. So like, that's a whole nother fucking conversation. But like, you know, like you've tried to pursue these women and they just, that nigga's a square, but they want the dope dealer. They want the hustler nigga. They want the stereotype.
Back in the day.
You know what I'm saying? So like, even now though, like there's dudes that do it that now. Like it's never changed because if it's
the
changed,
media,
our
community change, so.
But not like not even the media though, but just in the neighborhood, like that shit ain't never gonna change because if we've had some kind of change, then as a people, we'd be a lot further. You know what I'm saying? So like that's at a point where we have to take as a community that we got to take responsibility for that, because we, at the end of the day, like we have to take care of ourselves and each other because we are our community. So like, I'm saying like you said, Marcus, like, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's like, hey man, like if I've been denied umpteen times, like, why am I going to go back and do the same thing over again? That's insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's all I'm saying. I just trying to play devil's advocate.
You know what? You have a valid point. I can see how one would be possibly turned off from being rejected. It's rejection. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to be rejected, right? And when
especially by your own community.
Well, right. And so I guess after being rejected so many times, I do understand going, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go this direction. But again, that's fine. You just don't talk shit about my blackness, me being a black woman, and lump me in the same category as all of us in one big ghetto category together. That's where I have a problem. So that's why I'm dating white women.
My thing on all this, though, we talk about one race not liking you. I'm gonna go to your example, Kel. That doesn't mean the other race is gonna like you. The other race is gonna think you're cool. Other girls gonna think you're cool. If you're not a ladies' man, you're not a ladies' man. So I think that's a lot of the thing too. Dudes that don't get women in general. It's most of the time.
That's true.
And this is just my opinion.
That's facts.
Just because black girls don't like you, you think you're gonna go over here and all the women are gonna love you. In most cases, it does not work like that. It doesn't
translate.
If you got the thing or the it factor, and you're that guy, or you're
everybody's gonna love you, or
you're that gal. Usually you have options. So when it comes down to options and where people are at, you can have your preference, but you're only as good as your options, and you could wait it out, and you could take your time. But most people are thirsty. They get lonely. They want to be with somebody, and they take what they can get, right? So if you're not the dude and it just so happened to be a white girl, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to make the best of this. I'm going to make it happen. And this is not all guys that date white women, or this isn't all black gals that date outside their race. It's just one of those things. So a lot of it, of course, it's a thing, but this media and the way things are plastered around to make things just look a certain way, Kel. You gave some numbers. You said 95%, or no, you said
93,
85% of men, and then you said 93% of women. Black men and women
Mhm.
date within their race. So of course it's a thing. It's talked about and it's on all these talk shows. It's on podcasts, right? But it's not really like that. And if you're the dude and you're not getting the chicks from one race, I'll say it again, it usually does not transcend over to the other. And the women may have a preference and you may do better with a certain group. Like for me, for instance, I do better with most of like 55 and up and like the church mothers and stuff like that as far as the women that gravitate towards me, right? Oh, you so handsome and all this kind of stuff. That's what I get. And I know where I'm at, right?
Or you stay in your lane.
Yeah, I stay in my lane, right? So I'm not mad at the younger folk and all that. That's just where I'm at, right? And I'm good with that.
Right.
That is you, but you do have some good points. And
Thank you, Jess.
it's
I appreciate
like,
that.
you know, no, Kel, like you said, nobody would give you a chance. You know what? There is a black girl that would have given, there was somebody
Over time,
that
yeah.
would have given you a
Especially-
chance. Cause
Yeah, a
Oh,
dude
black
that
women
gets
love
girl-
me now.
there's
It's-
nerdy.
That's what I'm saying. It comes around, right? It just takes time sometimes.
Black
But like I
women love
said,
me
everybody
now,
ain't got that
but-
patience.
Right. No, like I said, I've always loved black women. Like I've always thought black women were beautiful. I've always loved black women. It's just, you know, there was that time where I was just kind of like, damn, like, am I just not? But then, you know, when I finally obviously grew up and came into my
I was gonna
own,
say, you gotta
you know,
grow into.
that you gotta grow up, you know. But I know some dudes though that are just like black women. They're just like, they just ain't never liked me, and that like, and they just, you know, they
That don't mean
went
they
off
don't
and
like them. I guess they
Well,
just
you're
didn't have
grouping
the
all black
opportunity,
women,
right?
and
Yeah,
the black women
It's
that
traumatic.
you want, that you
don't
want,
them.
don't
Right.
want. But there are a whole bunch of
Yeah.
other black women. You just might have been setting your standards a little too.
Right.
Come on.
and I'm
No,
gonna
I
say
get it.
this
I
too.
get
There's nothing there. There's a lot of men that like all women in general, right?
Yes.
And maybe I'm saying maybe black women may be jumping the gun if they see a black dude out with the white woman. Oh, he's one of those type that only dates this or does that, and you don't know that for a fact, right? He's
You're
just
absolutely right.
he's just playing the game, and if you got it, just like I said in my last example, you got it, and you got options from the color crayon of women, all different flavors, all different
Not the
colors,
color,
right?
not the world pack of color
Crayola.
crayons.
Do you guys believe, I guess I should ask this, in a person like having a type? Is that like a real thing?
I
Like,
think so.
for instance, like Jess, did you always like dark skinned men like Marcus? You know, has that always been your type? You know, or
Mm-mm.
Marcus, have you always liked, you know, red bones like Jess? Has that always been your type?
First of all, I am a beautiful
Caramels,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
latte.
If we did the brown bag test, Jess,
Damn it.
Now-
you're a red bone friend.
My
Nah.
mom.
You're part of the
is-
tribe. Your mom's a yellow bone.
Yeah, she is. Okay.
You
But
know, red, yellow sometime can.
but I did
Parallel.
I don't know. I mean, I got married so young. I don't even think I knew
dig
what
it.
my type was.
I think.
I dated everybody, by the way.
Everybody has a type.
I dated all race. I dated everybody. Not like that, but I was open to dating anybody. But I really had a special attraction to black men. That's just, it is what it is. And clearly, of the darker hue.
Again, I'm gonna go
I
back
mean, if you
to,
look good
to
and you treat, then it doesn't matter
that's what I'm saying,
what
right?
you are. I'm like, I'm
your
here.
your look and your entire package got to be on point. And like I said, if you're a ladies' man, you're a ladies' man in most situations, right? There's energy and all this kind of stuff, but sometimes people just click. And like you said, like the niceness and the way you treat a man or woman could overrule some of those stereotypes or those preferences that you may have had in your youth
Yeah,
or
yeah.
kind of where you're at now. So there's you make me feel good. And as a young man, I was treated a certain way by women. So, oh, okay, I'm really feeling this energy. I love this. I know that we're not on the same here culturally, but I'm really feeling this energy and I like it.
But let's think about it, because really what we're really talking about is, I guess, Black men dating, as a Black community, us being eager to date outside of race. But other communities, they are not as eager. I don't know what the statistics for that is, but how many white men are married to Black women? How many Asian men are married to Black women? How many Hispanic men are married to Black women?
Hey, Jess, that statistic of white men married to Black women, I don't have the number, but I've had conversations with people about this, and I feel like that's actually like rising.
It's rising. It is. It's trending.
Rising. Yeah, that one's rising actually, surprisingly enough.
It's trending.
Yeah. That one is trending for sure. And it's funny, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's always usually it's a certain type of Black girl. It's always the Black girl with the really, really bad wig and the really, really bad weave.
That's terrible, Karen.
That is.
Is terrible.
You're part of the problem.
I'm the problem. I'm part of the problem.
Everybody doesn't know how to secure their wig or can afford to get the best
and
wig.
Again,
that nylon shit.
I can see what you're saying, Kel, because that's the kind of the narrative that's pushed. But we know that's not true, though, right? But that is kind of the narrative that's pushed. If you're going to date a white dude, this is the type of Black chick it is. But that's not true.
That is not.
But that's the narrative, though.
But I find it interesting that we're the only ones that really, 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 really.
Well, you know what that is.
Outside
that's been the plan since the beginning.
Of
course, to break us up and not keep us together, and we all know that.
Yeah.
But it runs deep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you got to remember though too with some of these white women, and this is no knock on all white women, but there has been that fetishizing of white women that want to have a Black baby or have a mixed kid, because that's a thing too, where it's oh my God, it's almost like wanting to have a doll and play dress up. It's oh my God, I want a Black baby. I want a mixed baby. It's fetishizing, Black people essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yes.
I've seen that a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think that is more common probably with white women than Black women. Ooh, I want me a mixed baby. It's first of all, who are we telling other Black people this? Yeah, I want a mixed baby. No, I maybe cut that part out, because white women is telling everybody. They don't give a fuck. They're telling me. They're telling the next white person. They're I want a mixed baby. Telling their parents, fuck you, I want a mixed baby. But no. So you can cut that out. But yes, I do see, or I don't know. I get the vibe from some people that this is what they want. Now, let me preface this whole Black dating Black white. I have many family members, not many, that date outside of their race, Black men dating white women, married to white women. Well, honestly, that's all I see is the Black men dating white women. It's not the reverse.
Not
for
yet.
the people that I know. And it's beautiful. It works for them. There may be some cultural differences, but it works for them, and that works for me. So I'm not saying that Black people should not date white people, but it is a real thing that we love to date other people and dog our own, race in the process. That's it. Asians, I see a lot of Asian and white couples, but I also don't see them suppressing their culture. Well, I'm lying. Okay, we're gonna have to take all that back because Asian girls will put in the contacts, bleach their hair, all that kind of stuff.
Because there's a thing about that where, and I've had Asian friends tell me about this, of how they've dealt with their community with Asian people assimilating to white people. Like, that's not a secret. Like, people, that's
it's
a
a
thing.
thing.
Like, it's not a secret at all.
It is a thing,
Yeah.
and they are considered exotic by
Which is so racist. If like
Asians.
Mm-hmm.
like here's the thing about that word. I hate it because you said it earlier, Marcus.
I know where you're going.
I hate it when people be like, "I'm exotic." That is so racist. Like, and I don't think people understand. People are so stupid. Like, I know mixed girls that have been like, "Yeah, I'm exotic looking." I'm like, what does that even mean?
Where does
Like,
that come
now
from?
Nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows.
You
it's
sound
They
like
didn't
a
know what
zoo
to do,
animal.
so it's like
You sound like a zoo animal. Like, it is the most racist thing you could ever refer to yourself as is exotic. So to the people out there and the women, even men, you call yourself exotic, please stop calling yourself exotic. It's not a good look at all. It's not. Like, don't call yourself that. Like, it drives me crazy.
right.
So we didn't even get to the second question, but it's all good. We'll save that for next week. But I wanted to go back to the type thing because I wanted to tell you guys my type.
You guys have a type?
Yeah, my type is a
Everybody's
fat
type,
ass.
yeah. We're gonna have
As
to put that
long
in the
as you got
comments.
you got a pretty face and a fat ass.
That's fair.
It's great. That's the thing. Because the saying goes, you marry the ass, you buy the tits.
Now that is funny.
Never
That's
heard
what I
it,
did.
but I'm gonna have to put that
That's
on
what
my
I did in
next
my
shirt.
household.
You marry the ass, you buy the tits.
You marry the ass and buy the tits.
Well, now you can marry the tits and buy the ass.
See, but that BBL shit, that sometimes gets weird. So it's like
That's another one we need to talk
You
about.
can buy a tasteful ass, okay?
And I know guys, a lot of guys, I want the natural. I want natural. Dudes, a lot of guys.
But then you talk shit
I know.
about the natural.
I know,
It's
but
like, wait a
most guys
minute.
don't
What
care.
natural
though.
do you want? The video natural?
Most guys, that's not real life.
I don't want
is
no
a
stretch
movie.
marks. I want
This
a
just
natural
make believe
woman.
out here. And there is a lot of guys like that, but that's not real life. And you're missing out on a excellent experience with turning down a real life healthy woman.
What are you trying to refer to me as?
I'm not even, yes, I'm talking about you, but I'm talking about in general though, when men
a
kind
real
of
life healthy woman.
healthy, like with real life things. It's not
Well,
a
I'm trying to
video.
be unhealthy.
It's not
okay.
a picture. It's not a painting. This is real life, and some men appreciate that. Some men love that. Some men yearn for that. You see how I cleaned it up? I came back to. But all I'm saying is, guys, even women, when you put all these standards and all these pressures on trying to find your person as being exact, you're missing out on a whole rainbow of experiences and potentially excellent stuff.
So you don't have a type. You would just date anybody, is what you're saying.
No, that's not true.
If you're healthy.
No, I like a full-bodied woman. No,
We're not talking about full-bodied.
Kel said he like ass and the tits, and then I say I like full body. I'm not talking about like full body, like a DN or like linebacker type of build, but I'm saying
no BBWs for you, huh?
Yeah,
no BBWs
I like
you,
some
True?
movement. You know what I'm saying? If you go right, I might want to see a part of your body go left first, and then y'all all go together. So you know what I'm saying? That's just me, and that's how I grew up, and that's how my dad. And so you know what I'm saying? My preference, my type, is that I like great
It was Beyonce, actually.
conversation. I did like Beyonce. I thought I had a chance, like, cause we about the same age. And
You know what's funny, Marcus? All of my like
chance.
dark skin homeboys. All my
don't do
dark-skinned
us like
homeboys-
that.
No. A lot of my dark skin homeboys, they were all about Kelly Rowland.
Okay.
I wasn't even about Kelly Rowland.
Some of the first girls
Kelly
that
Rowland
was
was
in
bad.
Destiny
Kelly Rowland
Child
was
was
fine. I don't
almost
care
better
what
than
anybody says.
Beyonce. I forgot
you
the little
always
red
want the
one
lead.
from.
Like, it's like the lead. You always gravitate towards the lead. And like Kelly, she was the lead. She's
Kelly
beautiful,
was
by the
bad.
way.
Yeah.
She
still is,
absolutely stunning.
She's so beautiful.
But at the time, it was like, oh, Beyonce.
It was the 90s
It was
hip-hop
like
and
all
her-
the other
yeah.
girls didn't matter her. It's Beyonce.
because that was that societal thing of light is right.
Yeah, you're right.
And a couple of them got
You
kicked
know,
out the group, I
She
heard,
had
because they was
blonde
close to
hair.
Beyonce.
It was
and,
just like,
look, I know some of the early ones was red. They was thick and they look cool. I don't know how good they
Ooh.
could sing.
I remember.
Michelle.
How do
I don't
you
even know
that they
their
were thick?
names. There were some
Okay,
other ones
yeah.
from the beginning.
Michelle was one of them.
No, we're talking about the very beginning.
Yeah, the very first ones
There
in
was
the
two.
beginning.
One had like green eyes or something like that, and
Oh, we might have to look that up.
Almost better, but that was a younger me, and maybe it's not registering
Right.
exactly like it's supposed to be.
and
but-
Michelle, I think of her as like a motherly
gosh,
figure.
Oh, Latavia and Latoya.
Well, Latoya.
the Latavia.
Yeah, Latoya.
Yeah.
See?
Latoya was bad. I'm looking at this picture of her right now. Latoya Luckett
Latoya
is
Luckett.
a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
She's a
her?
very
Oh, yes,
beautiful
yeah, I didn't
woman.
Put that
but
together.
the
I'm
other
tripping.
one, we don't know where she's at.
Latavia Robertson. She's a pretty woman too.
Yeah.
It's interesting because they were
I'm gonna have to
all
look
like
it up, too.
they were all like Beyonce's color.
Mm-hmm.
No, they
Interesting.
weren't.
And then, yeah, they were. I'm looking at the pictures right now.
Kelly?
It might have been the makeup too, though. That might, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how they get made up and
Right.
makeup can make
Beyonce
make
still
one look
stood
lighter,
out
make one
as
look
the
darker.
lead, or whether
that
they
is
were
what's
all
up.
the same shade or not.
Well, yeah, her daddy made
Um,
that happen.
I know. Well, shit. Look at her
Maybe it was
now.
the second
Fuck.
group, and I remember a different one now. I don't see her on there.
After
Oh,
watching her
Farrah
documentary,
Franklin.
Is that who it was?
who?
Farrah Franklin is the one that had the green eyes.
Yeah. See, she don't make many of these
Yeah.
pictures online, but
Right. She was like, yeah.
I'm
But-
on her Wikipedia page. Hold on, if you
That's
guys want
funny.
to take a look real quick.
where no, I'm a
That one.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's blurry. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
gosh. Do you want to go?
Oh, interesting. But anywho, well, this was an interesting conversation, you guys. And we covered a lot of ground here. But
and we
I
still
just
got
think a lot of
room too. And Kel, you should put
Yeah.
some questions in there. Ask people their preferences and ask people what they think, etc.
right.
And kind of go from there.
For sure. I just think like this is one of those things just as a community that like we have to take more responsibility for. Like we can't sit here and blame white folks for it or blame whoever else for it. It's us and our community, because at the end of the day, like we are in charge of our community and the direction that we want to see it go. Because, you know, at the end of the day, like I don't want to see the end of the black family. You know, I love families in general, but like the black family, like that's still a special thing, and that should
Preserve the
still be a thing,
bloodline.
Right.
Psych, just kidding.
you know,
It is a thing. Just like white people preserve whiteness. They hold things, pass it down to their kids, and all this money, all this opportunity, all this kind of stuff. And didn't I hear? Wasn't there something that a dad told his son that if he married outside of his race, that he was not going to be able to have access to something?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
I
so
would not doubt it at all.
they are really able to, I don't know, put stipulations on their preserving their whiteness.
That's
and all
what
that
we
kind of
didn't
stuff.
do, is talk about the pressures of the communities that you live in as far as dating outside your race. But that could be a whole
What do you
show.
mean the pressure?
I'm
Like-
just saying, like if you live in New Orleans or you live in places like that, there's
you're not
going to be
When we're in New Orleans, we don't
Yeah,
see
it's pressure
any
there.
variation of
Yeah.
anything. Like,
but that's
ugh.
just the culture in the South, though.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
that's just Southern culture. I mean, hell, come on, y'all. There's still schools in the South that have separate proms. Okay, the white kids have their prom and the black
Damn.
kids have their prom.
sheesh.
Okay, they still do that in places down south. Okay,
And it's
like,
okay. It's
you
the
know,
norm.
you know, and it's wild. Yeah, you know. Hey, I'm gonna leave us with this. E40 said it best. You know, why can't we put our money together like Filipinos? Okay.
'Cause
Yeah. I just felt like saying that. I felt like it was right for the moment. It might not have been, but
Yeah. I didn't know where you was going with that. I was running down my
I
whole
don't know
plethora
where I'm going.
of E40
I was
lyrics.
like, well, you're referring to the
Right.
community thing. Let's
yeah, the
Get it
community
done.
thing. Yeah. So like you saw. Thank you, Jess. You saw where I was trying to
Yeah.
go with that.
Hope I don't go back to slavery. And that's kind of where my mind went with the.
We're putting our money into collective gold chains and Nikes.
Damn it. All right. Truly Unruly, y'all. Marcus and Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel. And remember, you can listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform and catch the visual on YouTube. Remember to like, review, and subscribe. Leave those reviews because that helps us out a lot and helps out the podcast. And follow us on all things social at trulyunruly_podcast. And if you want to follow these guys on things all social, just search Marcus_Trufant and Jessica_Trufant. And you can also catch us every Sunday on Converge. And if you have a question you want us to answer, email us. And trust me, we're not going to put your name on blast. We'll answer your question anonymously. Just email us, trulyunrulypodcast@gmail.com. So till next time, peace and much love.